hear it?
Rigor mortis, the stiffening of a dead body accompanying depletion of adenosine triphosphate in the muscle fibers, the physical state of death. What up, y'all? Welcome to Piece Apart. I am your host, Miss Ruby, and I'd first like to send a thanks to K's and K's on Facebook for requesting that I review this song. Like many others, this is a song I am ashamed to admit I've never heard, or at least I can't recall hearing. I know, Scarface was amongst the greats in the 90s. How the heck did I miss out on this? Bash me. Go ahead. Then come back and follow along with my breakdown. Now, the title of this song, I Seen a Man Die, is often interchanged with Never Seen a Man Cry. And that is because they're both highlights of the song's meaning. Scarface rapped in story mode the whole time, and the biggest giveaway for understanding the meaning in this song was the video. How rare! A music video that not only complemented the lyrics, but actually made them easier to understand. The intro includes dialogue of a conversation between two inmates, one that is on his way out the pen. In the first stanza of verse 1, we learn that the main character in his story just served 7 years in jail, is released, and is slightly rehabilitated, meaning after all that time, he still barely turned himself around. A slight detail that foreshadows a pivotal calamity later on in the story. Second stanza, we see that although he was locked up, his mother still sent words of wisdom to him in letters, and he gets out and he feels like, I gotta do better than this. But he's got a few things that could pose a difficulty, and those things include the fact that he's young, he's black, and he's been institutionalized for the last 7 years. Try taking that resume to an employer. Third stanza, he's smart, like he's got potential. That's golden these days. But what happens when treasure gets into the wrong hands? Disaster. And at this point in the song, we're getting warning signs that one is on its way. Fourth stanza, he's got the attitude that who he was worth land. So he's a hothead who thinks he's invaluable. And that attitude led him to steal the most valuable thing you could take from a man, his life. This was his first murder, 18 years old, straight out of jail, already killing. But the barter he made wasn't worth the trade because now he's got to go through a different kind of pain. My mother explained it like people who kill other people out of rage or revenge think that it's going to satisfy them, but it actually kills them too, internally. The hook says, I never understood why I could never see a man cry till I seen a man die. I think this hook could be taken a few different ways, but I'll get to that later. Second verse, fifth stanza, Scarface starts getting more hypothetical with the comparisons of life at its best and life at its worst. I think he does this to draw attention to just how different our lives can be based on the difference in our choices. The rest of the verse is when karma kicks in. Scarface starts describing the main character's death as if he's reading his mind or something. He's dying. He's counting down the seconds. He's expecting to perish in the darkness, and it's probably because his conscience is kicking in about the life he took. I think the message that Scarface wanted listeners to take from this is be careful what you do to other people, because your turn will come around too. In the last verse, Scarface takes us into the inertia of the dying man's journey to his afterlife. Talks about him fighting to survive until he no longer can, and then standing in the tunnel of eternal life, seeing the light, which makes me think that he must be going to heaven. Then seeing all these people he never made amends with, and by Faith saying that he feels out of place, it really makes me think he must be going to heaven. Because his conscience is bad because he know he did something horrible, so why and how could he possibly be going to heaven? Well, his next lines are, make a choice, let it go, and you can back it up. If you ain't at peace with God, you better patch it up. That's basically saying, look, you know you messed up, God knows you messed up, but it's your heart God is interested in overall. So this is your chance to surrender and finally make peace. And judging by the last line in this story, you guessed it, the boy finally stopped fighting, finally surrendered, forgave himself and let God forgive him. And as a result, he found peace. In the video, you've seen a tear coming out of his eye after all this, so when he died, he finally cried. I am moved and a little bit scared, but especially enlightened. And here's what I gathered. First off, based on this story, karma is real whether you expect it or not. Second, even if you don't live long on earth, there's still a chance for you in heaven. Third, pride will really kill you. And here's why I say that. He said he could never see a man cry until he's seen a man die, right? Meaning it took that man a lifetime of living large, taking charge, being unwilling to humble himself and bow down. So much that he killed another man to keep himself up, all to end up being knocked down by the hand of God, to ultimately be given the final test of freedom. In the midst of it all, he lost his life, but that wasn't the point. Obviously, life is not as important as the point, which is being without pride. It took him losing his life to let go of his pride. Just like it takes some people losing all of their blessings, everything they've got, to let go of their greed. Okay, maybe I'm going too deep, but this song's really got me thinking. Anyway, how many of y'all got shook when really listening to this song? Don't leave me out here alone, I know y'all felt it. Do you know any other songs that discuss a similar topic? If so, let me know in the box below, along with your thoughts on this song too, of course. And thank you for stopping by A Piece Apart. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It's Miss Ruby, signing off, and I'll see you next time.
Did you hear it?